Okay, we're back with more Ace Attorney, part 2. I got some stuff in the gallery. Let's check this out. Kinda looks like he has a mustache here.
Objection!
You know, this reminds me of chased out like a pair of peasants. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Kay? There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is? You really shouldn't steal anything, however I will bite. What shouldn't a thief steal? A life. It's too heavy of a burden on your soul to get away with ever. That's something we can agree on. Well said, Kay. No matter what we may try, murder is the one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands, when I apprehend the murderer myself. Alright, and I'm going to work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go. I still never said she could be my assistant. I'm just going to drop the issue. The first thing we should do is to locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, the stadium. Hurry, sir. This is supposed to be a hush-hush, but they found a witness at the stadium. A witness? You! What did we tell you about leaving your assigned post? The jig is up. Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always rooting for you, so go get him, sir. Those detectives sure look like they're enjoying themselves. It's not all fun and games, Kay. Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet this witness. I thought there was a witness here. Yeah, I don't see anyone. Mr. Edgeworth. Long time no see. You are Miss Emma Sky, correct? This girl is the younger sister of my former superior, Lana Sky. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. But I thought she had gone to Europe to study forensics. I can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits. Are you still studying abroad? You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes scientifically. I've been studying non-stop every day to become a top-notch forensic scientist. But it's spring break now, so I thought I'd come back for a bit. I see. I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown in these past few years. Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. I'm going to be a super forensic scientist someday. You'll see. You seem to know Mr. Edgeworth really well. Are you two acquaintances? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Sky. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad now to be a forensic scientist. How about you? Wow, that's a great dream. My name is Kay Faraday, and I'm training to become an unstoppable great thief. A great thief? Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. In any case, we have much to catch up on. You bet we do. So why are you here, Emma? Well, I just happened to decide to come back home for spring break. And then I heard that you'd come back too, so I raced on over here. I had really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I had just missed you. And how exactly did you know I was here? Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you. Oh, I just want to bring up, last night I stumbled upon this anime that came out earlier this year on Toonami, but it's on HBO Max now. And it's called Ninja Kamui, and I'm digging it so far. I only got through the first 3 episodes, but I want to try to get through the others too. But it was like really it was really cool. I use these to track your footprints, and I follow them straight to you. Footprints, you say? This set is the greatest. It's so wonderfully scientific. You spray this chemical on the ground, and when you shine the special light on it, zing! The footprints light up like an electrified noble gas in a glass tube. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking. Forensic science has never seemed more ominous to me than at this very moment. Emma, I'd like to ask you about what you witnessed. Huh? What are you talking about? Are you not the witness Detective Gumshoe told us about? Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. He was practically yelling at me. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Edgeworth needs you scientific... I can't speak. Mr. Edgeworth needs your scientific doohickey right now, pal, he said. What was that man thinking? Rather not thinking. So let me guess, there's been a murder, right? Yes, unfortunately. There's a sudden glint in her eyes. But I need to keep my mind focused on the witness. Now, where did that person go? I assume this is another Badger mobile. Yeah, but it's a different color than the blue Badger's car. Yes, this is the retina searing pink model. What's that off in the distance? Oh hey, it's the pink Badger. Badger, get! Badger, 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 Badger. Just what does she see in these silly things? I think this Badger has something to say to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Are you, by chance, the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak Badger dance. Oh no! No, 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 no! 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 Oh God, no! Oh, not this woman! No! Oh, no! No!
You're fired!
Can the Spider-Man come out today?
It was me, Barry.
Oh God, I hate this person. Ah! I can't take being inside that stuffy head anymore. You're... No! Why her? Why here? Why now? I first met this woman 3 years ago. She was a witness in one of my cases. She has since gone out of her way to pop up unexpectedly and cause me great grief. Edgy Pooh, why couldn't you understand what I was trying to tell you? I mean, really? I was trying so hard to keep the kids' dreams alive by staying in character. But you couldn't pick on what I was trying to convey to you. I'm sick and tired of that runabout way of talking, so I'm gonna just be direct. I had a bad feeling before, but this just made it official. Today has gone beyond the typical not my day into the realm of waking nightmare. So you're a friend of Mr. Edgeworth too, Miss Pink Badger. You can say that, but right now I'm just the Pink Badger, dearie. She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman. My name is Wendy Oldbag, but you can call me Wendy or Granny or whatever suits your fancy. Nice to meet you, Miss Oldbag. I'm Kay Faraday. What do I care about a young whippersnapper like you? Yeesh, I was just trying to be polite. Weren't you a security guard at one of the Gatewater hotels that last time we met? I go where I'm needed. I'm very good at what I do, unlike the youth of today. I get called in all the time to fill in when there aren't enough hands. But enough about me, Edgy Pooh. I'm thoroughly dejected right now. I finally get the chance to see you again, and here you are talking with two young girls. Men are all the same. Oh God. God, I hate this woman. God, she's so freaking annoying. You seem to attract all sorts of interesting people, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, please, I'm begging you. By all means, do not provoke her any further. Aren't you forgetting about something, Mr. Edgeworth? This person could be the witness. Honestly, I hope she isn't, but I don't think fate is going to be so kind today. I saw what happened. I even saw the exact moment it happened. How's that? But it's true, she is the witness. I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag. Yes, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me. The moment of the murder. You mean to say that you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes? Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me. I hate this woman. I hate this woman. I came to this stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you. Looks like we hit the jackpot, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I can't afford to ignore what she has to say. Unfortunately. What's that unfortunately you tacked on at the end supposed to mean, Edgy Poo? Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little old lady.
Hold it!
You mean you took a break from being the Pink Badger? You may not think it, but it's hard work keeping kids' dreams alive. You smell a sweat, your hips creak with pain, you even begin to dream about work. That's the kind of story that will scar a child for life, you know? Well, that's why I chose to come take my break here, whippersnapper. I don't plan on playing the part of the dead badger in front of a bunch of kids. What did you see while you, the Pink Badger, were resting? I keep wanting to say the Pink Ranger. Oh yes, that, well... As I was resting, I haven't...
Hold it!
You saw two men. Can you describe them for me? They look like your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over. I'm telling you, they were so boring that I don't even remember much beyond that. But did they have any special features? Anything you can recall would be very helpful. Oh my, don't tell me you're jealous of two men. Hey, she's right. You do seem pretty worked up over there, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not worked up over anyone, and I'm not jealous. It's alright, Edgy Poo. Those two were just fools. Those two were just fowls compared to a stallion like you. I thought so little of them that I lost interest in the instant I laid eyes on them.
Hold it!
You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place. Absolutely. That gun made a terrible racket when it was fired. You didn't try to go help the person that got shot? I'm only one person, you smart alecky brat. What could I have done? But I took off as soon as I could find someone who could help. Two men, one bullet. It's all consistent with what we found out from the body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on in your testimony. Well, if I saw the guy again, I'm sure I could identify him for you. I mean, how do you expect me to remember everything without something to jog my memory? Self-centered, aren't we? While it was somewhat useful, her testimony also presents us with a new problem. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? So, about this new problem. What is that giant grin on your face for? Do you want me to show you something really nice? No, thank you. Don't be so mean. I swear it's something you're going to like. What is that gadget you're holding? What you see before you is the secret weapon of a great thief. I should have known it would be worthless. Aw, don't be like that. What in the Tony Stark? What do you think now? What is it doing? It's projecting something into the air. I'm going to input the necessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I'll increase the size of the projection to its maximum size. Dark skies of evening. When no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. What is this? This is a recreation of the murder based on the info I've inputted into Little Thief. Little Thief? I dare say I think you're talking to Robin Hood thing. You're taking the Robin Hood thing a bit too far. Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I use it like this, let's see. Miss Oldbag said that the two men were facing each other. And then a gunshot rang out and the victim fell to the ground. So with this we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past. See? So what do you think? I have to say I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days. Well, it is the super secret weapon of the mighty Yatagarasu. Indeed. Oh, but if there isn't enough information or if something is out of place, a recreation could come out a little strange. In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of its witness's testimony. You got it. You really catch on quick, Mr. Edgeworth. Right now, the simulation is a recreation of that witness's testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification. Feel free to examine everything in this simulation in the way you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. And if you find something, I've got the Little Thief with me, so you just let me know, okay? According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here. That's right, but if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction. Huh? What? Where? If this is the real scene of the crime, there's something missing that should be here. A body?
Take that!
If this was the real scene of the crime, something specific should be here. If you think back, how did we deduce that the other crime scene was not the real one? Oh, I guess what's missing now. There's no blood on the ground here either, right? Right. The fact there is no blood here casts doubt on the witness's testimony. Ichipo! How can you doubt me like that? Are you calling me a liar? I know what I saw, and I saw the victim get shot down. You know, I don't think she's lying, Miss Edgeworth. To be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie to me. In that case, maybe there is another explanation for the distinct lack of blood. It's the silhouette of the killer with his gun on the ready. Okay. Is it not possible to recreate the face of the killer? Well, I can't exactly input what we don't know into Little Thief. She has a point. Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume? So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers? I think we can reasonably assume there is a very good chance that he was. And that if he was shot while he was inside one of those stolen costumes, then Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside the costume instead of on the ground. Precisely. Now, if only we could prove that the victim was wearing a costume. You'd think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints. But the problem is finding them since there doesn't seem to be any around. Footprints, huh? I wonder how we can go about finding some of those. This is amazing. Just feel the power of science. Emma, about the method you were talking about for finding footprints. Finally my expert knowledge in forensics is needed. Yes, well, can you detect and trace even partial footprints? Leave it to me. My cutting-edge detection kit can find anything. Very well. If you could please analyze the footprints in this area. Okay, stand back now and witness the power of science at work. By the power of Grayskull! Blue Skidoo, we can too. You see a clue? Where? A clue! A clue! I don't see anything. Oh, that's right. Here, put these special glasses on, Mr. Edgeworth. A clue! A clue! You see a clue? These footprints here were definitely left by a badger costume. Judging by the way the prints are layered, those seem to be the newest. Then we can conclude that the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time. Okay, in that case, I'll update Little Thief's simulation parameters. I can't wait to see what we can find out from this new info. Wow, power of Grayskull! So the victim was wearing a costume when he died. And with that, we should be one step closer to the truth, right? I see the recreation has changed in accordance with the new information. We may be closer, but now something else has caught my attention. What do you want? Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear one more time if you please. I came to this stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you. So, does this mean Miss Oldback's testimony has a contradiction in it? Yes, and I believe our best course of action is to compare it with your recreation. See, I just knew Little Thief would be able to help. Now let's see if we can pull more info from Miss Oldbag to put it into the recreation. For that, we must find the contradiction in her testimony.
Objection!
Two men? How did you know the gender of the two people involved? seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time. Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony. Yeah, I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all. But I'm telling you, I really did see it. I saw it with my very own eyes. From a seat in the second tier. The second tier. Hey, didn't you say you saw it right in front of you earlier? That was, I was using the phrase in the metaphorical sense. I see our witness still has a screw loose in the metaphorical sense. The coochie seats in the second tier are reserved for hot shot VIPs. Which is exactly why I go there now and again to take a nap. I can't see how you could have gotten a good look from there. It's so high up. Were you able to see even the victim's costume from way up there? Well, I know I saw two people. But I couldn't really see what they looked like because they were in the stage's shadow. My eyesight isn't what it used to be, Not that... Oh, God. Let's return to our investigation, shall we? Okay? You got it. Power of Grayskull! This new silhouette of the victim is in a costume. It looks like they broke the stage down. I guess this means they're done for today. Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to start its run tomorrow. If that woman's testimony is to be believed, the murder occurred before the stage was broken down. Do you want me to input that bit of info into Little Thief? Yes, if you please. Okay. There is clearly a contradiction here. Please stop stealing my lines. Oh, come on, it wasn't that hard to see it coming, even for a layman like me. I suppose. In any case, it's not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way, because there was a very real stage setup in this spot at the time. Yeesh, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything? Yes, well, in any case, we still need to resolve this unusual situation. Isn't it obvious? The killer was on top of the stage naturally. Right, Miss Oldbag? Yes, I remember now. The killer was standing on top of the stage. See? Now let me update the info in the simulation. Well, what have we here? A bunch of hooligans running amok, I see. Agent Lang, how nice of you to join us.
Get that pathetic monster out of my face!
Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes. Agent Lang, we discovered that the real scene of the murder is here, the stadium. I see. Thanks. For what? I'm just trying to show you my appreciation for all the time you saved me. Who knew that such a strange little toy could recreate a crime scene like that? Little Thief is not a toy. You too. Sir. And there you have it. You see, big boys like me don't need silly little toys, little girl. Now this is a recreation. So what? Do you still intend to assert that Officer Meekins is the killer? Of course. Even knowing that the crime took place here doesn't let him off the hook. This is the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage. When the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high. That's the truth your little recreation showed. How far will you go to accuse Officer Meekins of the crime? He's the most likely suspect we got, especially given the situation with his gun. Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark. You see? Thank you for understanding, my little crow girl. I'm not some common crow. I'm the Yatakarasu, the Raven of Legend. Unfortunately, your conclusion has yet to be tested, so let's see how well it holds up.
Hold it!
Looks like we found the real crime scene first. Ha! Brag all you want, but we don't have all that free time, unlike the two of you. You know what you remind me of? A dog licking his wounds as he whimpers home. Well, I guess I should be thankful for all the time you saved me, ZZ. That's how we say thanks in my country. You're welcome. I hope he realized we didn't do all this for him. But I'm here now, so I'll be taking over. As I was saying, this is where the crime took place.
Hold it!
Lying in wait. How did Officer Meekins even know the victim was going to come here? Simple. He was investigating the kidnappers, right? And while he was doing so, he came to understand the victim, Mr. Deacon's movements.
Objection!
Ha! Why would the good officer want to ambush and kill a kidnapper?
Not so fast!
You mean his motive? Who knows and who cares? You should, being a cop. You can find that out for yourself when you go talk to him in jail. Huh. You have no respect for the order of law. Don't get me wrong, but I need more than there's no motive to convince me otherwise. He's right, the lack of motive is a rather weak argument by itself. So the officer lay in wait on top of the stage.
Hold it!
So you agree with how our recreation turned out. Like I said, I'm grateful that you were able to save me some time. Alright, but we still don't know why he chose to wait on top of the stage. Who cares? Maybe he wanted to become the Blue Badger. Who's to say he didn't see the stage and decided to put on a Badger stage show of his own? Or maybe there's a completely different reason? What does it matter? It still doesn't change the fact that Officer Meekins stood on top of that stage and shot the victim on the ground below.
Hold it!
So you honestly believe that what you're saying is what really occurred? Hey, you're the ones who came up with this scenario. Are you saying you doubt yourselves? Touché. Unfortunately, Agent Lang's conclusion do not contradict with our recreation. Then does that mean it all went down just as he says? No, not quite. I wonder if what we had recreated earlier was the whole truth.
Objection! Objection!
I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lang. I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You cut in quite unexpectedly after all. What's that supposed to mean? You said that the victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I hate to break it to you, but that's not possible. Huh? Why not? Recall Mr. Deacon's body, specifically where the gunshot wounds were located. Actually, I didn't get that good of a look. Oh, well then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon in his abdominal region and exited his right shoulder. This is more consistent with an angled shot from beneath the victim. Then, yes, our recreation had the victim being shot at an angle from above. A clear contradiction. You're discounting your own conclusions. No, this one point is the only flaw. This was the mistaken parameter in our recreation. Yes, the locations of the killer and the victim were wrong. I get it. I see what you're trying to say. I believe the killer and the victim were standing opposite to what was initially thought. It was the victim who was on top of the stage as he was being shot by the killer. By power of Grayskull! If this is what happened, it also explained the position of the gunshot wounds. But then, what about the footprints? Since the footprints don't lie, we can assume then that the killer also wore a costume. Okay, I'll try using that data instead. How can you fire a gun wearing this costume? Judging by the fact that both the killer and the victim were wearing costumes, I say it was a killing between the two kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Lang? Well done, Mr. Prosecutor. But that alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime. I ask that you take another good look at the tire marks over there. The 3 marks are indicative of the blue Badgemobile. That story Officer Meekins told about the shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie. He drove the blue Badgemobile here and committed the murder. Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area. You believe he moved the body with the car? That's right. It was Officer Meekins himself who pointed us to the way he did it. 3 tire tread marks are very telling However, is the blue Badgemobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern?
Hold it!
The tire marks? Yes, the tire marks. The ones there behind the stage. They were hidden up until now by the various pieces of stage equipment. As for when they were made, they must have been made after the rain had begun to fall, correct? Yes, and probably around the same time as when the killer's footprints were made. The tires of that blue Badgemobile probably got pretty muddy because of that. I say it's the blue Badgemobile because, well, that's pretty obvious too. The 3 marks are...
Hold it!
3 tire marks. I have to agree that the blue Badgemobile has 3 tires. Of course, the only thing in this park that could make those marks is that roving shop.
Objection!
Are you forgetting that there are, in fact, 3 of them? You can't simply ignore the pink and the proto Badgemobiles, Agent Lang.
Knuckle back!
Of course, I didn't say it couldn't be either of the other 2, but I see no reason to drag them into this just to complicate things.
Hold it!
Of course you have some sort of proof that it was all alive, correct? Of course not. Well, that was blunt. But suppose it is alive. It would explain a lot of things, like his movements and his whereabouts.
Hold it!
Do you still claim that the tire marks belong to the blue Badgemobile? It must have arrived on the scene after the ground had become wet with rain. Officer Meekins committed the murder.
Hold it!
Besides the blue Badgemobile, there are other ways the body could have been moved.
Knuckle back!
Recall what the Wild Wild West area looked like. Only the blue Badgemobile and Mr. Deacon's body were in the garage. I say that's proof. I suppose if one were to look at that place, that would be the only logical conclusion. However, my experience tells me that the truth is usually not so easily found. Is there some sort of problem with Agent Lang's statement with regard to that scene? Looks like the only thing that car was selling was death, not dreams. Only if what Agent Lang believes turns out to be true. The 3 tire tread marks are very telling, however.
Objection!
Sorry, Agent Lang, but that's an impossible tale. And why is that? Those tire marks could not have been left by Officer Meekins' blue Badgemobile. One look at the car would have told you so.
Take that!
Take a good look at the tires. There's not a single dollop of mud to be found on it. If this car had come to the backstage area and left those tire tracks, then the lack of mud on these tires stands out as a very particular indeed. Then how do you explain the tire tracks, genius? Hey, I've got it. What about Miss Oldbag's pink Badgemobile? Don't be ridiculous. I was sleeping the entire time in the second tier seats. Indeed, I believe we can rule her out as someone related to the crime. However, there is yet one more roving store as I recall. Oh, you mean the Proto Badger? That's right. There was one more parking space inside that garage, and it proves the existence of a Proto Badgermobile. Agent Lang, I suggest you find this Proto Badgermobile post haste. There must still be some sort of incriminating evidence on it. Yeah. Hey, did you hear something? Hell. Help me. Are you alright? Well, this is something. Looks like we found our kidnapping victim. Where were you all this time? Well, Wes, with kidnappers. He was in the room next to the one I was held in. Ran away using underground and got lost. The kidnappers... What is it? I can't understand what you're trying to say. The kidnappers escaped wearing costumes. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but two. One was woman. A woman? Quite an important piece of testimony. Hey, what are you guys doing? Stop standing there and get your cops on this already. I'll even let you guys have what that kid said just now. Consider it a gift. Now, are you going to get out of my crime scene, or am I going to have to get rough? Again? You're nothing but a big bully. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go. Oh, no, not you. You're a very important witness for my case. I'm not about to let you get away that easily. Don't count on me to testify, because I won't, not for you. That's right, I won't either. You hear me, you young whippersnapper? Hey, calm down. There's no need for all this hostility. I just want to take a statement from each of you. I'm not going to rough either of you up. I'll give you my word. Come now, fair maidens. What do you say? Will you cooperate? Fair maidens? My, you little rascal. You sure know your way into talking into a woman's heart. Lang Z says, the passage of time is but a fleeting moment, and a lady is young forever. Huh, trying to outdo my etchy poo with your fancy schmancy sayings. Let's get this over with. But we're clear. I'm only interested in giving you my statement. Sure, just as soon as Mr. Prosecutor leaves us be. Mr. Edgeworth. All right. Well, that's it with this for today. But anyway, yeah. This is probably the first time, at least, you know, in a while, that half of these clues I managed to pick up for myself without having to resort to looking up for the answers. But I wouldn't count my chickens. But anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. I gotta get to jump on some stuff for the reviews for tomorrow. But in any case, have a good night. I'll see you guys later. And yeah, take care.